Earlier, I spoke to Michael Arunga about the effects the sanctions may have on South Sudan, specifically whether they could affect a lasting solution to the violence in the country. Arunga has been keenly following developments in South Sudan.
These sanctions offer a fresh approach, as opposed to the signing of agreements that have been abused in the past, violated as soon as they are signed. So this is a fresh approach that targets those who are, behind the atrocities. When you look at it in terms of violations of rights and the effects on the people and holding the leaders culpable to the violations, I think this is a fresh approach. And travel bans and financial sanctions, I think it will bite those that are directly affected, and hopefully they will start to clamor for unity and away from the violations that have led to perpetration of the atrocities down at the grassroots.
Well, the war in South Sudan has been ongoing now since 2013, and it's been more than 5 years now. And there's been a lot of peace talks, peace efforts, talk after talk going on in trying to find a lasting peace solution. So what exactly is holding up the process?
It's unfortunate that leaders, I think it's more of ego issues, greed, lack of proper understanding of the people at the grassroots, the people that they lead. And for us who are out here and have been able to interact with the people down on the ground, just being able to see the extremities in terms of the violations, rape cases, assaults, deaths on a massive scale, people fleeing the country, refuge out there, and from the backdrop of this kind of challenges against the leaders who are not able to take into cognizance all this that is happening and feel for the people that they are supposed to be leading, I think that is the crux of the issue. So if the leaders would be able to appreciate the fact that they need to put themselves in the shoes of those that they are leading, right, then that would be sorted out.
Both sides seem to be heavily armed at this point. Would an arms embargo be an option?
Yeah, in my opinion, I think that would be helpful because, those that have arms are going out and they use these arms to be able to violate the rights of the people down within the communities, whether they're women who are sexually violated, lack of access by humanitarian workers, the pilots that were captured, when they were actually on a humanitarian mission. I think an arms embargo, I think that would be a proper approach. But this needs to cascade down into being able to take into cognizance the violation as it relates to the individuals, the leaders. That needs to be taken into account.
An earlier interview there with a specialist, Michael Arunga, and we're